Welcome to the Bev Boys basketball broadcast, where we talk Bevs, basketball, and anything else really. We're the three guys. My name is Tyler.
I'm Nick.
I'm Alvin. Hey.
All right. You know what? Let's get started with the Bevs. Nick, what do you got? Let's see. What'd you bring to the show today?
All right. So, hold on. There we go. So I just had this in my fridge. Now, this isn't the actual brand, but I got a little cranberry juice for you guys.
Holy shit, dude.
Can you hear I'm playing the song in the background. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can't hear it.
Vaguely. I can vaguely hear it.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Good.
So
good.
that guy on TikTok, his handle is Dogface208 because he's from Idaho Falls, right?
Yeah.
Yes. All Gas No Brakes went to go see him.
Oh, I saw
Incredible.
something about that.
It was awesome. He also went to go see the guy who pops and locks for Jesus. And he's like, Jesus Christ! Dude, that. So I subscribed to his Patreon. That video is incredible. I highly recommend.
All Gas No Brakes with him.
Yeah, it's on Patreon.
That's pretty good.
So recommend it. Shout out Andrew and the crew.
Very neat and cool.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I'll go third. Save the best for last, hopefully. So I went to a different bodega today, which was a mistake because it looked like it was just the end of the world in that place. Like the shelves were empty and I was left with very few options.
Nice.
So what I found that wasn't like loaded with sugar or alcoholic was a little bubbly, little seltzer. Yeah, I've heard they're good. This is the grapefruit one.
So, little step down from the hemp bev.
Oh yeah, what was it called?
Just thought about that. Yeah, it was called a recess.
Recess.
Yeah.
How pretentious.
Oh, so good. Okay.
What's the flavor?
Grapefruit.
Nice.
This was only $1 though. That recess was like $6.
My God.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know. I wouldn't drink that for $6. Well, I mean, I would. I'm a sucker for branding.
It did the trick. Like I was like very calm afterwards.
That's pretty good.
Nice. Love that.
All right, Alvin, what you got, man?
Okay, going along the lines of carbonated bevs. You got me a Topo Chico right here. Yeah, what y'all know? Yeah, what y'all know about the Topo Chico?
Not enough, man.
Tell me.
So let's just read the back of this. Oh, there's no back. So it's carbonated. It's carbonated water from Monterrey, Mexico. I'd heard of these from my barber, and they have them, and I just never take them for some reason. But when I went to Texas earlier this year, I had one. I was like, man, this is incredible. Like, this is the best carbonated beverage, in my opinion. Like, just straight seltzer water type thing.
Yeah.
So got my little wallet thing / bottle opener. It doubles as side of my wallet. See that? A little bit of smoke, a little bub.
That's that good.
Yeah.
What's the flavor on that?
So it's like a unflavored LaCroix. It's like sparkling water, right?
Oh god, there is no
but
flavor. Okay.
The thing about Topo Chico that I found is it's a lot softer and it doesn't hit your throat as much.
That's kind of nice because sometimes those seltzer waters are like a little too much.
A little aggressive, yeah. Yeah, these go down really nice, and they make, like, if you're eating something really oily, they make that go down just a little bit more easily than what feels like regular water. I highly recommend it. If you're not into mineral water or seltzer water, sparkling water, Topo Chico is kind of like the one that I've decided that people should try before they swear it off completely.
Dig it.
So yeah.
Very cool. All right, good bevs, everybody. Let's move on to some basketball. So I think tonight we're gonna skip just NBA news and roll right into some King stuff with some other fun activities planned for later. As I look at the score right now, the Kings are up 119 to 105 against the Magic with a minute and a half left to go in the fourth. So I think it's safe to say, without jinxing it, hopefully, that the Kings will win, which means that we will have gone 4-8 in January with a 7-10 overall record for the season. Now that we're at like 20-25% way through the season, are we ready to get into panic mode? Are we ready just to tank and trade everybody? Or are we still kind of feeling like, well, let's see what's going on? How do you guys kind of feel so far?
I mean, I went into this season like full on prepared for tank mode. Like, so I'm like, yo, just keep it going, keep losing, but like let the guys like Bagley and Halliburton continue to progress and look good, and I'm more than happy to keep losing games.
Yeah, same here. I was wholly expecting just a really bad team and us to be like bottom 3 in the West. And we've been better than that, which has been pretty cool, but not like exceeding expectations a little bit. But I'm still bracing for a blow up, and I would kind of hope that we're getting that unless we see major improvements that will last from specific players like Bagley. So
yeah, and even if like Barnes and Holmes and Buddy keep playing well, they're still old, like we've talked about. So it's kind of like, what's the point? I'm definitely with you guys. I'm very okay with losing. It's nice to get some wins. Like I'm happy I watched a good Kings game tonight. That was nice for once compared to the stuff we've been watching these past few games, was just like pull your hair out. The defense is so bad and oof, yeah, not fun. But there's some good silver linings that I'm stoked about. Halliburton has been just on fire shooting. I don't know if you guys have seen his stats. He's shooting damn near 50, 50, 80 right now, which is like unbelievable. I can't think of a rookie that's been that good shooting wise recently.
No, I think he's probably the only one, maybe Wiseman too, that like actually has good shooting percentages. Like LaMelo and Anthony Edwards and like other guys, like they have flashy plays, but like their field goal percentages are like not good. Like
yeah, and I think the same. I think the same thing applies to like you can like I've been watching a lot of LaMelo Ball, like probably everyone else in the world has, because he's really fun to watch. But you can kind of tell that defenses have kind of started to figure him out and figure out and just play for the pass and just know that he's not always going to take the shot because he's not a very good shooter, even still, and particularly not a very consistent shooter. But Tyrese Halliburton, I'm sure defenses are going to figure it out and everything, but they haven't yet, which has been really impressive. He's still able to put up these numbers, and he's able to put up these numbers over big minutes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't think his 3-point shot stays at 50%. I think that comes down to earth by the end of the season, but still around 40%. I mean, if he's given us 50, 40, and 80, I mean, that's way more than we would have ever expected from him. So that's awesome. I mean, yeah. Question is he rookie of the year material? Can he beat out LaMelo?
In my opinion, I think he's at the top right now as far as rookie performance, like all around rookie performance. I think there is not another rookie that's playing better than him right now, like pound for pound. Like the other guys have more notoriety and more flash. I mean, even then, Halliburton's got some flashy shit that he does, but like,
yeah, oh yeah.
In the end, like efficiency, defense, offense, like impacting the game, like nobody else comes close to him and like what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think like you could make an argument for LaMelo. You could also maybe make an argument for Emmanuel Quickly, and I think you could maybe make an argument for Devin Vassell. but no one's impacting the game as consistently and playing as large of a role for their team as
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton. Like LaMelo Ball, I hate to go back to him again, but I mean, his defense has been atrocious. His coach has called him out in
Yeah.
like in front of the media, like because of it. Like a lot of people might talk about Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard, no chance. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's fine. He's a nice surprise, but
Yeah.
there's no chance that I'm gonna like. I don't know if we're talking about Tyrese Halliburton as a potential multiple time All Star, but there's no way that I don't think like Peyton Pritchard or Emmanuel Quickly are gonna be that.
Mm.
Definitely more likely that Halliburton does. Yeah, that's for sure. What I'm
Yeah.
like stunned about is that we're talking about him in this way this soon in the season. I mean, before the season, we thought he'll be like a Doug Christie, like a Joe Ingles glue guy who's like really great to have. He's nice, but he's just already at that level of those guys in some ways.
It
You
was
know,
like game 2 or 3 that
yeah.
the Halliburton hype started.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was game 2. That was and there's like noticeable things that he's improved on as well. Like his ability, he's doing a better job of getting into the lane than he
Yeah.
did in college. And I think part of that's just because of our spacing. Like we do a pretty good job of going 5 out and that type of thing. And makes it a little bit easier for him. But I didn't expect him to do that at all. I didn't expect him to like have handles as confident as he does right now. Like he's not Kyrie out there. He's not even Colin Sexton, but he's doing a great job.
You can trust him with the ball.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Almost more so
Absolutely.
than Fox at this point. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over very much compared to Fox. I've also noticed, I don't know if you guys have, Halliburton will have these plays where he's like, he has the ball, he's surveying the floor, and he kind of jumps up with the ball and looks around and then like dishes the ball to some open guy out of nowhere. I don't ever see anyone else doing that. That's like something he kind of does. It's kind of cool.
Like in the air passes, you mean?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's
jump
something he's
on
gotten,
the
which is a cool thing and can be helpful. Although it can also be an issue because like when you're in the air, like you're stuck in that position. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just like
Yeah.
shift out of the way.
You're committed.
And defenses have caught on to that a little bit with him the last like couple weeks, where they know when he jumps, he's going to try and pass it, and they'll start to get their hands out, and so he's turned the ball over a couple times doing that, but at the same time, he's still pretty good at doing it and being successful at finding somebody, which is super sick to like watch because it's fun to see him do it because not too many people can the way he does.
Yeah, I remember distinctly like playing basketball in like elementary school and my coaches saying you can't jump pass. Do not do that.
Yeah.
One, because like once you're in the air you can only make so many choices, but also like it's hard to get like the power that you might want or the precision that you might want, like as opposed to like a chest pass or something like that or a bounce pass or something.
Yeah.
But he does a really good job of it, and I have noticed that defenses are starting to figure that out. But it's good that he has that in his arsenal, I think.
I guess I agree those are not the best passes, but it's impressive to me that he can do them so
Yeah.
well. That just shows his IQ and the way he can survey the floor and the precision in which he can pass the ball. So like that's kind of what stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool to see from a rookie.
Yeah. I guess the question is like, how does he improve from here? Where does he go?
He's got to get stronger, I think.
Yeah, I think as he gets older, his body's gonna just kind of, it's gonna continue to just naturally get bigger, and he has to work on that too. I think for him, I would like to see his ability to get to the hoop get a little bit better because we know he can shoot. He doesn't have any issues doing that, and he can like he's got his floater, which is pretty cool, and like he can get to the hoop pretty much whenever he wants to. But I don't see at this point super aggressive like I'm gonna get to the hoop and like score and like soft touch and that kind of thing the way Fox can or other people like that. So I think that would be the next thing I'd like to see him because he's already got, good defense, good shooting, good playmaking, free throws, all that kind of stuff, and get to the free throw line, which would come along with getting to the hoop more.
Yeah.
So that's mine, I think.
Yeah, I think just other moves to have in his back pocket, other counters, other ways to just kind of manipulate and manipulate the other team. And yeah, I think he's there. I watch it and I'm curious to see where it goes from here, how he improves outside of consistency, because I'm not sure how much more he gets into the lane, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
I I think part of that depends on what they do with the big men situation, because it's kind of hard to do that when you've got Bagley and Holmes both starting together.
Flying up
Like,
the lane.
yeah.
Speaking of Bagley, he's been better. That's been nice to see.
Noticeably
Actually
better.
scoring. I think tonight I haven't checked his stats. Last time I looked, he was at like 16 and 10 or something. So he's getting closer to the 15 and 10, maybe even 20 and 10, which is really nice to see. Not to mention his 3-point shot is really falling.
Yeah, it
I
looks
mean,
good.
whenever he shoots it, it's like it looks good. He's making. I don't. What's the stat? Do you guys know
He,
what his 3-point
I
shot
know,
is?
like, since he started improving the last few weeks, he's shooting around 40% from three.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Kozimor in the broadcast today said in his last, I think, 10 games, he's been shooting 50%, 57% from the field.
That sounds about
Wow.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah, and today, it just seems like it's interesting because you can watch him at the 3-point line when he goes up, and if his feet are together, or if his one of his feet don't splay out, you can tell it's going in, or it's gonna be really good. But if something goes awry there for some reason, he's missing it by a lot, and maybe it's because I'm so watchful of what he does, but I feel like I don't know, that gives me a lot of hope, because if he can make that consistently, or fix his footwork on his jumper consistently, that's really helpful.
Chilling. Yeah. The big thing I've really noticed with him the last few weeks, and I was kind of paying attention to it, especially today, there was a couple plays where I was like, oh shit. Is he's not like he's always kind of been known as kind of he gets the ball, he's gonna score. That's it. Kind of not a black hole, but kind of a black hole.
Not quite Scalaby's here.
Yeah, not to that level or anything like that. But
Bless his heart, man.
yeah.
Ugh.
But what I've noticed is he's not forcing stuff anymore like he used to. He'll get his shot when he needs to, but he's making a lot of the right plays. I saw a couple times tonight, there was one where he was in the paint and Fox got him the ball and he was right under the hoop, but he was covered by three guys, surrounded him. And normally I think he would try to bully his way to get to the hoop. But instead he immediately swung out to Corey Joseph, who was wide open at the three,
Yeah.
and made a three. And then there was another play where he was successfully swinging the ball around the perimeter, and he's just seeing the floor a lot better, and he's not rushing things. It's the game is kind of slowing down for him. You can kind of visibly see it, and it's oh man, this is actually kind of cool.
It's amazing
Yeah.
what consistency will do to a guy's game, huh? If
Yeah.
you can actually just play. Go ahead, Alvin.
Well, what I was gonna say is I'm trying to remember if I'm remembering his rookie year correctly, because there were a lot of things where I was just yeah, over the course of the season, I thought he was making smarter plays. There was just more awareness to his game as the season went on, which I thought was really good. And he's coupling that with just sheer athleticism.
Yeah.
And tenacious ability to get an offensive rebound or tip something in or what have you. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I'm hopeful. Very hopeful.
Speaking of Bagley and Halliburton and Fox for that matter, are you guys surprised to see how few lobs that Bagley's getting based on having two great ball handlers? The guy can jump higher than most guys I've seen in the NBA. Is that something that you think maybe we should be adding to the offense. I feel like,
Yeah.
and I mean,
With him, yeah, I mean, not that he has to be like consistently doing pick and roll oops and stuff like that, but like that's definitely something I would like to see a lot more of, because he could, if he actually did it, he could do it better than most anybody, honestly. Um yeah, it's just something I have never really seen him do consistently
mm-mm.
for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Like I'm
I mean,
thinking we had Bogdan and Willie
It was
Cauley-Stein.
the only thing Willie was capable of doing successfully.
But yeah, Bogdan would be throwing lobs up to Willie, and I mean they were killing offense off the bench with that combination. So I'm just kind of thinking Halliburton has the IQ and passing ability that Bogdan did, if not more. And I mean Bagley can jump super high like Willie could. It's like that just seems like a natural thing that they should be doing,
mhm.
in my opinion. But,
I I think a lot of modern bigs, and y'all know that Willie Cauley Stein is like extremely guilty of this, but they love to slip the screen, right? They'll go set a pick and they'll slip it, and nothing will happen.
yeah,
And Bagley does that a lot too,
He
and I
does
think
that a
that's
lot.
and I think it's just because that's how he played in high school. Like he was just good enough that he could do that. Um, Fortunately, we have like Hassan Whiteside, who has a good probably 35 pounds on Bagley, but he doesn't slip screens. Like,
he's a brick wall. Yeah,
yeah. Um, I think it's a little bit of a spacing thing, personally. Because Rashawn Holmes doesn't get as many like lobs as I would like either, because he can be a good like vertical finisher too, and
Yeah.
he's not getting as many. And I don't think that's like because of a lack of ability, as you're saying, from like Halliburton or Fox or even Healed. And it's the opposite. Like I think it's just how the offense and how like players are situated. Like not as much space.
guess we'll see. We don't have to be Lob City Clippers, with DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, or anything. But it just seems like an obvious thing that we should be doing with guys like Holmes and Bagley and Fox and Halliburton. Just a thought that I had. But
Yeah.
any other thoughts on any other guys before we get to the next section? Anything else come to mind, guys?
I'd like to see more of the like second round rookies. I'd like to see more
Yeah.
Robert Woodard.
Very much
We're
so.
we're playing like 9 deep pretty often right now because we're not playing Bielitsa, and I'd like to see Robert Woodard in that Bielitsa role a little bit more.
If defense really is historically bad, like why not throw him in there? Someone
Yeah.
who can immediately go in and play good defense and has good size.
Yeah.
I don't think we need those guys at all until we trade the veterans. We have to keep playing Barnes and Buddy and all those guys just so their value stays up. But I think once they're gone, we'll have Jemias Ramsey and Woodard, and who else do we have? Kyle Guy. Metu will get some more playing time. Actually, he's been playing a little bit more recently.
Yeah, because Whiteside was out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Right.
since Whiteside is back tonight, he wasn't playing. But yeah, just 10 minutes for Robert Woodard.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, just a little bit there. Because I remember let's go to the next section. I don't want to talk about let's
All right. Well, let's do it then. So we all decided to do a little revisionist history, and the topic is 2018 NBA redraft. Just doing the top 10.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What?
I just like it's a lot of pain.
Oh, just
Still. Yeah, it's a lot of pain.
I was like,
Oh,
what,
man.
the wrong draft or something? Like, what's going on, man?
No, I've got a lot of feelings about who should have gone where, and
Yeah, mine.
I feel
Well,
Did you guys do it?
think
Because
we
I
all
got
have.
like the top 10 here, and it's like it's like so different than what actually happened. It was kind of fun to like work through those. This was such
Yeah.
an interesting draft.
it's definitely a talented deep draft, and it's hard to place guys because there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
whole
let's just
middle
get
part
into
of
it.
it. Yeah, let's do it.
The middle part, you're right. Yeah, that's
That was
definitely
tough.
a little brutal. All right, number one. Obviously, can we all say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3. Luka
Luka.
Doncic.
Luca.
Obviously.
Can I read some tweets? Can I read some of my tweets to you that I tweeted?
From
So
20.
correct, from 2018.
Okay,
So I asked a group of people to pray for the NBA draft. I asked a group of people in a Mormon LDS temple to pray for Adam Silver so that the Kings would get the number 1 pick in the draft.
I remember that.
Oh,
I
And that's
remember
because I wanted Luka Doncic. And I tweeted, "Wow, dreams really do come true. The church is true." Okay, here's another tweet. Reasons to draft Luka Doncic. Dude throws cross-court passes like nobody's business. Sacramento Kongs, because of Siri and
spell
Apple,
check.
becomes instantly one of the most fun teams in NBA. Total cutie. Gets to the bucket at
He is a
will.
cutie.
Yeah, gets to the bucket at will. Has no athleticism, but still does it.
Love
Has
it.
tattoo of tiger. Please, Sacramento Kings, make
Is
the
it-
right choice.
Is it a tiger? I thought it was a wolf.
I think it's a tiger. I'm pretty sure
think
it's a
it's
tiger.
tiger.
Yeah, it might be actually. Okay, yeah, you make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Kang's gonna Kangs.
yeah.
I remember liking Luca because he was willing to yell at guys and just get in your face and get mad. And like we had that thing of like, our guys are too nice. They're just like good guys. And it was like, we need someone just to get these guys going. And who's also like the next LeBron James, obviously.
I mean,
yeah.
for me, it's just like
Yeah.
basketball IQ over athleticism.
Oh,
100%. And it was just like this kid is like 18 and is just like smarter than everybody and can do just about everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, I just gotta say on that point of like tenaciousness that Luca is number 2 in the NBA in technical fouls called on him.
Love it.
yes.
So
That's what
sick.
Number-
we need. We need
Number 1, DeMarcus Cousins. Shout out
No
Boogie.
way.
How? How is he?
I have no idea. Well, he's playing consistent minutes
I
in
guess
Houston,
that's
and
true,
he's doing it big. He's basically only shooting threes and getting offensive rebounds, but he's oh my gosh! Shout out
Go-
Boogie. I love that man.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
go
stud.
to-
Forever.
I will. You are welcome in my house anytime. Boogie Cousins.
All right. Well, I think we've grieved enough for Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Um,
nothing more to say.
There's a lot more to say, but we won't go there.
But let's not go down that rabbit hole because it's
Let's
just
not. I'd rather
pain.
not cry.
Nothing
Yeah,
but
fair
pain
enough.
down that hole.
All right, let's do an order here. We'll start with Nick, me, and then Alvin. That'll be the rotation for each one. So Nick, go ahead. What do you got for
Okay.
number 2?
Number 2 for the Kings. Let me see what you
Well,
guys
hold
think
on,
about
hold
this.
on. Let's clarify something. Did you guys do just pure talent or fit or some mixture? Like, what was your kind of credentials?
Kind of both.
Yeah.
Best talent, best fit, like just mostly best talent, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even consider teams, but that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Keep it
I
on.
looked through and I was like, okay, if every team here. So number 2, Kings get the second pick. For me, since Luka's gone, I pick Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I knew it. You hate Trae Young.
Yep. I fuck that. Yeah, no.
You're such
Oh my
a Trae.
gosh.
I don't
Oh my
know why,
gosh.
I can't
What's
get
the
into
beef,
him, man.
Is it the hair? Is it what, man?
He's kind of gremlin looking, and
Yeah.
he's so god awful at defense. And I've seen different reports and different things that like different things in the locker room. He's not a great leader, and he kind of talks shit on everybody. And like, I don't know, there's just something about him that I'm kind of like, I feel like he just is a lot of empty numbers because like they don't seem to ever really get better, but he just puts up a crap ton of numbers. And I'm just like, I'd rather take Shea, who can put up big numbers on any night when he wants to, but he also would fit perfectly next to Fox. Good
Oh, boy.
defense, contributes to like winning basketball. Like, I would be stoked. I would love that. So yeah,
And he's a combo guard. I mean, he doesn't have to have the
exactly.
ball. I mean, he
Yeah,
played it on Chris Paul just fine.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
So I'm gonna be honest. I was a huge SGA fan. That was my guy.
Yeah,
Like
can
him
confirm.
and Luca were like people I was very into going into the draft. I had Trey going number 2.
I feel like both
and
of
it-
you did, and I'm just like, nope.
In
the
my
dude's an
opinion,
all-star. What can you have? Like, excuse
Yeah.
me? Like this guy, like the only other guy besides Luca who's an all-star on this pick, like on this in this draft. Like
I think
I
if you're going based on talent, it's Trey Young. If you're going based on fit with Fox, I'd rather have SGA, I think.
Well, for me, I'm also just thinking purely like winning. Like I genuinely believe that Shea with Fox would win more than Trey Young and Fox. That's just me. Like I think that would be a more winning combo. Like
Could
you
be.
think our defensive backcourt right now is terrible? Could you imagine Trey Young with Fox? Like,
Mm.
oh my god.
That was my thought too with
Yeah.
Fox.
So
I'd
like
rather
for
have
me,
SGA.
I genuinely believe Shea with Fox would be you would have a much more winning team.
Okay, if we're doing it based on fit, then I'm gonna redo my picks really quick, and I'm actually gonna go Michael Porter number 2.
That
Ooh.
was I considered that, but I just like Shea. I was like, nah. I would
But
take Shea. But
Alvin,
yeah.
can I call you out really quick because you were crying when the rumors came out that Vlade was maybe going to pick Mike Porter too. You were furious.
I ain't crow, dude. I ain't crow. Michael Porter can't pass at all, and his defense is atrocious.
Yeah, that was why I was like, no, his defense is too bad for me to take him to.
Yeah, the only thing that I have there is that his fluidity on the court and his jumper at his size has carried over, and that's something I wasn't entirely anticipating. I was expecting him to not be as athletic as he was either. I was expecting that to fall off. But anyways, not my pick. Sorry, I'm done.
All right, Tyler, it's you. Number 2.
Yeah, I was going to say Alvin already went, but okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, I had Trey Young, but we've already kind of talked about all that.
Yeah.
And going forward, since we're kind of bouncing back between like best player available and just fit around the Kings, maybe we'll just do both at the same time. We'll just keep going with that.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
my
it's
thought.
whatever pick you had is whatever pick you had.
Maybe just start with who's the best player next, and then go. But if I was the Kings, I'd probably want this guy for whatever reason or something. Okay, Nick, at number 3, who you got?
I put Trey Young for that one. The Hawks stay having Trey Young for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I had SGA at 3.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, kind of swap them out.
Yeah, I did too. I had SGA at 3 also. My only thing with him is like I love his game and I'm sure he'll figure it out, but in the playoffs this past year, he kind of laid an egg a little bit. Like he wasn't as good as he was wasn't as good in the playoffs as he was in the regular season. I'm sure that'll change when he's given the chance to be in the playoffs. But this year, like he just wasn't as good. So
Yeah. He's still young. He'll figure it out.
yeah.
Okay, Nick, number 4. What's the
Number
pick?
4, the Grizzlies. I put Michael Porter Jr. for that one.
Ooh, interesting.
Because I feel like that's
why
just
Michael Porter over JJJ.
I felt like just higher upside, and I think in that case you can take higher upside and just best talent available. So I went with that one there.
I stayed with Jaren Jackson Jr.
I thought about that, but
because like we've been saying, Porter Jr. just can't play defense. I mean, who knows if his injury thing ever does come back? Obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. is also injured. Which is super sad. But I love just like two-way players because obviously they can contribute way more than just a one-sided guy. They're never going to be a liability. He's modern day big, like the ideal guy who can rebound, play defense, shoot threes. Yeah, I stayed with him.
Yeah, I had Michael Porter there as well. at number 4. But
Mhm.
yeah, just how many players are like scoring as efficiently and as smoothly as he does, like who just has a knack for putting the ball in the bucket. That's as much as we like the ability to be multifaceted in that type of thing. Like at number 4, they needed a scorer,
Yeah.
and that's what they get. So
Yeah.
All right. We at 5?
Yeah.
Fifth pick.
So 5th, that was Mavericks. I put DeAndre Ayton for that one. Similar to Michael Porter, because I feel like that's the next like best talent, highest upside of anybody left from that whole portion. They need someone who can score. He can score, and potential star basically. So I put DeAndre Ayton.
You think he's a potential star still?
Oh yeah, I think
He's
so.
not. You think he becomes a multi or all-star?
I think he can. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of 50-50 on him, honestly.
You were high on him in the draft. Like I remember when he came and played Utah, we watched that game. You were
Yeah,
really
that
high
was
on him.
pretty early on. Like I was like, man,
Yeah.
this dude like can do just about everything, and he's got size. Like, and I was expecting the Kings to not get the second pick. So, but yeah,
What's the deal with Suns fans that are just like so down on him? I would kill for Bagley to be as good as DeAndre Ayton is right now. Like, dude's putting up pretty close to 20 and 10 right now.
yeah, he's
I
averaging.
mean,
I think he's averaging
you
like
guys
12 or
do
13 rebounds and like 18 points or something like that. Like it's pretty sick.
that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was looking. I
His
was going through
defense
stats
does
and
not.
stuff. Yeah,
he's also like a pretty decent defender, and he's improved considerably there too.
he's got the
That's good.
size.
Like I would say going into the 2018 draft, he and Bagley were probably about equal defensively. Maybe Ayton was slightly better, but Ayton has really improved defensively, to the point where he's not a liability to be out there. And a lot of people, in a lot of ways, the center position is your most important defensive position, like as the backbone, and he's passable there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Do you know if his shot blocking has gotten better or if it's good right now? I don't know.
It's not great from what I was looking at.
So.
It's less than a block a game from what I saw.
Oh, for a guy that strong, I don't know what his wingspan is either. But
It was good. It was like a
Yeah.
it was like a good solid wingspan.
like 7'4", something like that. I don't remember.
Maybe less, but
that's definitely
yeah.
I think if he can go to the Kevin Garnett school of drawing charges, or the Marcus Cousins school of drawing charges, like that's a-okay. I'd rather have that than a block, frankly. So
he's definitely strong enough to take charges from anybody, maybe besides Zion, but nobody's strong enough to take it from Zion. So
maybe Kyle Lowry. He'll take a charge from anyone, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just remember like the 2019 what was it? The NBA All-Star game, and he was playing crunch time minutes over players who were definitely better than him.
Yeah.
But he was out there like drawing charges and like getting rebounds over like Anthony Davis.
He was hyped.
Joel Embiid, and it's just like, what the heck? Like, who is this guy? This guy's not even 6 feet tall. But it's just the tenacity of Philadelphia. So
love it. All right, at 5, I had Michael Porter Jr. for reasons you guys already said. I have him higher than Ayton, just because I think his higher upside. But Alvin, how about you?
I had Jaren Jackson going 5. And I liked Jaren Jackson. I thought like, okay, if we're not drafting Luka number 1, I was very into Jaren Jackson number 2. Just his ability to kind of switch and also like handle the ball decently on the perimeter and like shoot the 3 well. He shot like 42% from 3 his rookie year, and also just like a really good defender. Just extremely solid defender who could switch onto people, and he had mobile feet and great footwork. And not only could he like block shots really well, and he was probably outside of another pick in this redraft like the best shot blocker, but he was also good at like drawing fouls and like taking charges and that type of thing. So I hope he gets better. I'd love to see him in his full potential. It's interesting to see him play next to John Morant because it makes me wonder what he could have been next to De'Aaron Fox. So anyways.
Oh, and he could have played next to Holmes too, because he can shoot threes pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Oof, that would have been
Yeah.
fun. Kings. All right, Nick, number 6.
6, I put Jaren Jackson.
All right.
Just next best player, and I think him next to freaking what's his face on the Magic, the center Vooch. They would be pretty sick together.
Oof, yeah.
That's a lot of spacing, and then he helps defensively where Vooch doesn't really.
Definitely.
That would be sick.
I would love that. Plus, you get to see them with, oh my gosh, who'd they pick? Who'd they get who was first overall in 2017?
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz, geez. And Cole Anthony. That'd be a really cool team.
That's so much shooting. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, amen.
This might surprise you guys. At 6, I have Knicks guy Colin Sexton, because he has been killing it lately. He is making a difference in Cleveland. Bring back to the playoffs, maybe. We'll see. That's kind of my big one that's like maybe a little out there, but I'm pretty high on Sexton right now. He's looking good.
Dig it.
The Magic could have used a guard. They could have used someone like that for sure. So that would have been a pretty good pickup if Colin Sexton became the scorer that he is today. But he kind of falls into like Marvin Bagley syndrome, right? Where you've got to really build a team around him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to consider everything around him because he's just not a natural like playmaker yet. If ever, like he's undersized and like word of the night for me, tenacity. But like for all the tenacity that he has, like he just can't make up for being undersized, like in a lot of ways. So
he's got some nice crazy eyes on defense, though. You know what I'm talking about when he gets like in his stance and he's just like staring guys down. Like
he's the most intense player since like Kevin Garnett. Man, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay, Crazy Eyes championships. Who are you taking? Taking Colin Sexton, Bobby Portis, or Carlos Boozer?
Bobby Portis.
I'd say Bobby Portis.
100%.
Yeah. Like nobody
100%.
will ever match his crazy eyes.
Forgot Kevin Garnett. I should probably put KG in there too. But
yeah, I think Bobby Portis still wins.
Yeah.
He's just got.
Doesn't he like psych himself up? Like the guy he's playing against like killed his mom or something. Like before every game, he just like gets in his.
Yep.
Dude is nuts.
He's good at what he does.
That's good stuff.
And what he does is so good. So.
He's doing good things for the Bucks. Actually, he's been nice for them off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh man, Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Alvin, number 6. What's your pick?
I had Ayton.
Cool.
And while DeAndre Ayton right now is a better player than Jaren Jackson is by a decent amount, like I just trust Jaren Jackson's upside and his ability to like not only shoot but get to the bucket and be like an impact defender over DeAndre Ayton, who is a little bit more boxed in his ability to do stuff too, even though he's a mobile 7-1 player. So
cool.
It's pretty close. I just had to rep Jaren Jackson, Triple J.
Yeah, we're in the middle part of the draft. You're just like, all these guys are so
this whole
close
middle
right
part
now.
was tough.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, number 7. Who's going to Chicago?
So 7, I chose Michael Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges, whatever. I feel like I've heard his name said a couple different ways. But yeah, Mikal Bridges, like, they need a wing. I guess they got what's his face, but I mean, he's fine. They overpaid.
Otto Porter Jr.
Otto Porter Jr. Yeah, he's like, that's fine, but like, I feel like Mikal Bridges does what he does, but better and more efficiently. And you could probably get him for less money too when he signs another contract. But like, I don't know. I was pretty high on him coming out of the draft, and I was looking at his stats, and I was like, oh my god, he's like averaging 38 to 40% from three every year he's been in the league. He's obviously like elite defensively, and he averages, I think, right now around 15 points a game.
Yeah.
And just really good numbers all the way around. And I think he would be a perfect fit for them in Chicago. To just the floor spacing of Chicago with Cubby White, Zach LaVine, him, and Markkinen, like, that's just ridiculous. So yeah.
I was super high on Mikal Bridges. If the Kings were going to be in this range like we thought they were, I really wanted Bridges to come to us.
Yeah, I would have been down.
Ideal 3-and-D guy. Just does a lot of little things that you want from a person like that. Perfect role player. Yeah, definitely on him still.
Yeah, he's great. Can't get enough of the guy. I am a noted Suns hater. I hate watching him on the Suns, but
they don't
I watch him.
The Suns don't Mikal Bridges. I've been saying it for years.
Not at all.
Didn't deserve Ricky Rubio either, but that's a whole other thing.
Just
Ricky.
Just Minnesota. That's the whole other conversation.
Okay, moving on.
Number 8. Nick, who's going to Cleveland?
Stuck with Colin Sexton there. I feel like he's just like the next best guy. Cavaliers, they need a point guard, and he seems to be doing okay there right now. So I went Colin Sexton.
So thinking about fit and where teams were at back in 2018, you wouldn't want to put. Well, you still think that you think that Bridges is better than Sexton? Is that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would rather have Mikal Bridges. As much as I love Sexton, I would rather have Mikal Bridges on my team. He's a safer pick, but I think he also will contribute more in a much more efficient way. And he's so good defensively.
Yeah, there's being a dog can only overcome so much, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, the NBA would be filled with Filipinos. So sorry.
Oh man. It's Jordan Clarkson. That's who's half Filipino, right? In the NBA.
Yeah, dude. Him and Eric Spoelstra unite. And then there's what's his face? Kai Soto in the NBA G League, the G League Ignite. 7'2".
Nice.
Whoa.
Carrying the mantle of the Philippines.
Dang.
Let's see what happens.
That's wild.
I know nothing about him. I don't really want to know anything about him. So
tall dude. I had DeAndre Ayton here. Maybe I put him a little too low. I know.
That's a steal.
I had Michael Porter Jr. and Sexton over Ayton, but maybe that was a little low. Thinking about it after this conversation.
Yeah. What pick are we at?
8,
7?
Yeah,
8.
Oh, wait. No, I had Ayton at 7.
Going to Chicago.
Maybe I didn't say my pick, but I had Ayton at 7. I have Mikal Bridges at 8. Sorry. There we go.
Let me find it. Sorry. One sec. Mitchell Robinson going 8.
Oh, wow. All right on.
He was
I'm a believer.
Round pick. You guys believe that?
That's
what
wild.
A freaking gem. Yeah.
Well, there were some worries about his background and worries about him blowing up on the court, and I think there was some off court stuff that people were worried about too. But I think the defensive abilities there. He's super fun.
Yeah.
like super bouncy.
Good modern big.
He's
Yeah,
got
I would say so.
length too. His wingspan
Hmm.
is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, facts.
Cool. All right, Nick, what's your next pick?
Number 9, New York Knicks. I got Marvin Bagley going at 9. I think that's just
Ooh.
next best available person. And also that would just be fun to see him in New York. Kind of a high flying dude who could be pretty exciting going to New York. That would be pretty cool.
Cool. I have New York sticking with Mitchell Robinson at number 9
Hmm.
for similar reasons that Alvin said him at 8.
Dang. He one thing about Bagley, I think him being in New York would be pretty good actually, because
Yeah.
even though he's under a microscope, like fans will just love him.
Yeah.
I think like
I
New
think
York fans will just appreciate him, and like they're not constantly shitting on Kevin Knox, right?
as they probably easily could be.
Yeah, Kings fans would
Oh,
probably shit on Kevin Knox.
Knox was
Definitely
in
if they
this
took him
draft,
to.
wasn't he?
Who? Yeah, Knox. That's who
Kevin
the Knicks got was Knox,
Oh,
which
he
was
was a
like
top
everyone
2
was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh. Yikes. Uh, Alvin, who's your pick at 9?
9, I have Mikal Bridges.
Hmm.
I love Mikal Bridges, but it's just a little bit older than Mitchell Robinson, a little bit older than Colin Sexton and the other guys. So I don't know. I think he would have been a good fit on the Knicks, anyways. So yeah, and then especially because they were like looking at like, maybe we can trade for an all-star or pick up a superstar, and he would have slotted in perfectly with any of those players. Whereas
Excellent
Bagley
role
probably
player.
could have been like kind of buried on the bench in that situation too. So
Makes sense. Okay, Nick, your last pick, number 10. Who's
Number-
Philly getting?
So yeah, that was the pick got traded to the Suns.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I put Wendell Carter Jr. there because I think he'd just be next best available. They get a really cool, solid big to go along with Luca, which would just be like quite the haul, and they'd be set. And yeah,
To
like
go along with Luca?
yeah, because they get him number 1 as well. Suns had the first pick and the 10th pick.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, gee, man.
yeah. So
Could you
that would just be
imagine?
nuts. So
Wow.
Wendell, he is. I was very surprised at how bad his 3-point shooting has been since he got to the NBA, because that was like one of his big upsides was the potential to shoot threes and play defense and do all kinds of cool stuff. But he's still fundamentally sound defensively and can do cool things. And but yeah, I think that's if I can get him number 10, like that's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Wendell Carter number 10 too.
Hey, me
And
too. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, notably no Marvin Bagley, which I hope he
Yeah.
proves me wrong.
Same.
But anyways, Wendell Carter was someone who I preferred over Marvin Bagley going into the draft. I thought he was
Yeah.
a better big at Duke. I thought he was better rounded. His like fundamentals were better. I thought he was a better passer, which he was. He's a better defender, vertically and just like man to man and team like defense, just better overall in my opinion.
Way more fundamentally sound.
Oh, big time.
Incredibly fundamentally sound. And I think in the NBA, his lack of 3-point shooting, for example, kind of happened because Jim Boylan broke him. That's my take. And I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think a lot of people agree with that. But I think you're starting to see some life from him under Billy Donovan's coaching, and just more dynamism. And I'm glad to see Wendell Carter out there, because I think the comparisons to like being a little Al Horford or a Al Horford Jr. or Al Horford Kirkland signature is readily available,
Absolutely.
like, and absolutely achievable on his end.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it's a safe pick for a top 10 pick. Fundamentally sound like we all just said.
Yeah.
Whereas Bagley just hasn't shown us anything yet to make me want to pick him in the top 10,
Yeah.
other than just upside, which anybody can have upside if they're 19, I guess.
Yeah.
How about any last words about the top 10?
Nothing I can really think of. I think that whole middle area is all pretty interchangeable for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun kind of putting that together.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought really hard about getting Bagley in the top 10.
Yeah.
I also thought a lot about what's his name? Dante DiVincenzo and Mitchell Robinson as well. So
I had like
So
a
that kind of leads
split.
me to the next one. Oh, what?
I had a split second where I contemplated Gary Trent, but I was like, nah, not
Yeah.
quite.
oh my gosh, can we just talk for a second that he was drafted by the Kings?
It's
Can we
true.
just talk about that very briefly?
It's all true.
Lade.
He would be so good with the Kings.
Imagine if we had drafted Luca and kept Gary Trent Jr. and that was our draft. Be pretty cool.
It would be neat and cool.
Kind of
Well,
going
this
on the
makes it-
game. Who's like your 11 to 15? Just throw some names out. Like, who are the guys you're like, yeah, these are definitely like still in the lottery, but not quite top 10.
DiVincenzo and Gary Trent would both be, and I guess Mitchell Robinson would be like 11 probably for me.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be the three.
I'd have Devontae Graham up there as
Oh,
well.
yeah, that's them.
Actually, I'd have him over all the people that I mentioned too. Now that I think about it, like
Damn.
he's kind of shit the bed a little bit this year, but last year 17 points, 8 assists, ton of threes.
Yeah,
I thought he did a great job. So, I'd probably
How about Duncan Robinson, second round pick in 2018?
yeah.
I think definitely lottery pick. Guy's like one of the best 3-point shooters of all time already, basically, percentage wise at least.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy who's very situation dependent. Like
That's
Miami was absolutely in my eyes, the best place for him to have landed outside of maybe Golden State.
actually Milwaukee too.
Ooh, yeah.
Milwaukee would have been good too.
Just more shooting.
And it'd be interesting to have seen because the Clippers had back-to-back picks in this draft. I think they had picks 12 and 13. If they were to get let's say Marvin Bagley and Duncan Robinson, how fun that team would be.
That's pretty cool.
And how good that team would be even still. So, I'd also say shout out Kendrick Nunn. Put together a really good rookie year. So
that was a different. Wasn't that the year after? Because Kendrick Nunn was the same as.
I
I think he played in the G League his first year.
Huh? Yeah, because I know he was technically a rookie last year with what's his face? Their other rookie,
Tyler Hero.
Yeah. But that would make sense if he played in the G League. Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah, the only other guy I had was Kevin Herter. He's kind of been hit or miss. He was supposed to be the Klay Thompson in Atlanta to Trae Young's Steph Curry, but that's kind of been back and forth between him and the bench. Cool.
Yeah.
Good draft. Great draft.
Yeah, that's a cool draft.
So glad we shit the bed with it.
It's great.
That's so great
awesome.
for us.
Let's go Kings.
My thought is always, if we had taken Luka at 2, we could have rolled out Fox, Heald, Doncic, Barnes, and Holmes. Like, come on,
we wouldn't have Barnes though.
You still could.
No, that was the same year we ended up trading. I think halfway through the season, or was that the year before?
It was 2018. We traded Justin Jackson and Zebo for Harrison Barnes. So we still could have done it and put him at the 4.
I don't think they would have traded him because they were trying to get. I don't know. They were making space for Luca.
Yeah, you'd still have to pay him more than you should probably to
that's
keep
true.
him. So it'd be kind of there's no point.
We could have gotten like Otto Porter though, for example. Like that could have been easy.
Well, I think he was going to cost around the same amount as
A little
he was
bit
like
more.
$100 million guy, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly.
But he was just as available as Harrison Barnes was, if
Oh
not
yeah,
more
those
so.
were like the main two
So
guys that the wings at that time that were like, oh, we could get either one of those.
Yep.
yeah.
Just lots of deep sighs.
It's pretty cool.
Well, guys, any last thoughts, any hot takes before we end this podcast?
I got
No.
nothing today.
I've got
I don't
nothing.
either,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think Bradley Beal is out in the next month. I don't think
yes,
that's a hot take, but
100%. He's got to get
yeah.
out.
they need to blow it up. They're a disaster.
Well, I think he internally requests a trade. I don't think he like goes onto Twitter or something like that, but
Yeah.
I think he goes to the GM and it's just like, "Hey, I think I'm done here, man. Like I'm so tired." So,
He's done everything he can. Like you can't say he didn't try.
Yeah.
I mean, sheesh. I hope he goes to the Heat. I think the Heat have the best package available to trade
That would be
for
cool.
Bradley Beal. But we'll see. Okay, well, if nothing else, we'll just wrap up this podcast. Thanks, guys, for your participation. And thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Bev Boys Basketball Broadcast. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Stay sweet.
thanks.